Your dog is trying to talk to you right now. Of course, dogs can't speak, but they have a language so precise and packed with meaning that researchers who study it describe it as more honest than anything a human being is capable of saying. Your dog can't lie to you. Every signal they send is real. Every message is true. Still, many owners miss almost all of it. Not because they don't care, but because nobody taught them the language. Once you learn even a small part of it, you'll realize your dog has been trying to have a conversation with you for years. The following 4 signs show you what your dog is trying to say, and number 4 might surprise you. Number 1, your dog raises their eyebrows at you. Your dog has a facial muscle that evolved for one reason: to communicate with you, their human. In 2013, researchers at the University of Portsmouth, led by Juliane Kaminski, made a discovery that reordered everything scientists thought they knew about dog facial communication. Dogs have a specific muscle above the inner corner of the eye that wolves don't possess. Its only function is to raise the inner brow, producing the expression humans recognize as that wide, soft, slightly mournful look that makes a dog's face impossible to resist. Dogs didn't always have this muscle. It was an evolutionary process that developed over thousands of years. The dogs whose faces produced this expression were responded to more warmly, cared for more attentively, and therefore survived and reproduced more successfully. The dogs with the eyebrow muscle outcompeted the dogs without it. But here's the part most people miss. This expression isn't random. Dogs produce it most reliably in one specific context, when they're making direct eye contact with their owner and seeking connection, not food or a walk. Your dog wants connection. So the next time your dog looks up at you with that particular softness, that slight raise of the inner brow and open gaze, understand what you're seeing. That's not a dog being cute. That's an animal using the most sophisticated piece of interspecies communication ever evolved to tell you one specific thing: I want to be close to you. Still, even though this is fascinating, the eyebrow isn't the only thing your dog is doing deliberately. There's another behaviour that happens every single day that almost every owner, including myself, misreads completely. It might look a little bit like neediness, but it's actually something much deeper. Number 2, the lean. When your dog leans against you, they're not being needy. They're saying something that has no real equivalent in human language. It's one of the most common things dogs do, and one of the most consistently misread. A dog presses their weight against the leg of the person they love. Owners step around it, laugh it off, assume the dog wants something. The truth is, it's almost never means the dog wants something. Dr. Marty Becker, a veterinarian who has worked extensively with animal behaviourists on human-animal communication, describes the lean as one of the clearest expressions of trust in a dog's entire behavioural vocabulary. A dog who leans is making themselves physically vulnerable in the most direct way available to them. They're choosing, without ambiguity, to be held up by you. In canine social structures, physical contact carries enormous communicative weight. Dogs press against each other to signal safety, familiarity, and belonging. The lean isn't a demand, it's the dog's version of sitting beside someone in comfortable silence, the kind of closeness that doesn't need words because the presence itself is the message. Translated as directly as possible, that message is: you're where I feel safe. I don't need anything from you right now. I just want to be next to you. Most owners step away. The dog follows and leans again. The owner moves again. The dog patiently and persistently trying to deliver a message that keeps getting interrupted. Eventually gives up and goes to lie down somewhere else with a big sigh. If you keep rejecting this behaviour, your dog will eventually stop doing it. So let me ask you, is there anything worse than someone not listening to you? Your dog wasn't asking for anything. They were offering everything they had. Now there's a third signal that your dog sends every time something is too much for them. It's precise, it's unmistakable, and almost everyone ignores it. Missing this signal is one of the most common causes of bites that owners describe as coming from nowhere. Number 3, the warning you're missing. Your dog gives you a warning before things go wrong. It's consistent, it's readable, and almost universally ignored. It's called the whale eye. The whites of the eye become visible at the outer corner, a crescent of white that appears when a dog turns their head away while keeping their gaze fixed on something. It's almost always accompanied by a very still body, a stillness that looks like patience, but it isn't. Dr. Ian Dunbar, a veterinarian and animal behaviourist, has described the sequence of stress escalation in dogs with a precision that every owner needs to understand. The whale eye is not the beginning of that sequence, it's almost the end of it. Before the whale eye, there would have been a yawn, not from tiredness but from tension. Before the yawn, a lip lick in context where no food was present. And before the lip licking, a slight turning of the head away from whatever was causing discomfort. And before the head turn, a micro stillness lasting less than a second that most people couldn't even begin to register. It never fails to amaze me that owners miss these critical signals. You see it in videos sometimes and it makes me cringe. That full sequence is a dog working through every de-escalation tool that they have. It's a dog doing everything in their power to communicate discomfort without conflict, asking in the only language available to them for help. What follows the whale eye, if the signal continues to be missed, is not unpredictable. It isn't a dog who snapped without warning. It's the inevitable result of a conversation that was spoken clearly, repeatedly, and never answered. Your dog isn't trying to be difficult. They're trying to be understood. From a lifetime of working with dogs, I know there is no such thing as no warning. What only exists is an owner missing the primary signals before an explosion. Okay, so your dog raises their brow to ask for closeness, leans in to offer trust, and warns you before they're overwhelmed. But there's one more thing they do that tells you more about how they feel about you than almost anything else. It happens several times on every single walk, and most owners never notice it. Number 4, the check-in. Your dog checks in with you constantly on walks. How you respond is shaping their sense of the world in ways science is only beginning to understand. Watch your dog on a walk. Count how many times they glance back at you. Not because they've heard something or they're checking you're still there in a basic physical sense. It's a quick, deliberate glance, eye contact held for maybe half a second before they return to whatever they were doing. This behaviour is called social referencing. Human infants do it constantly in the first years of life, glancing at a caregiver before approaching something new, reading the adult's face for information about whether the world is safe. Dr. Lisa Horn, a researcher at the Maserli Research Institute in Vienna, led a series of studies specifically examining social referencing in dogs. What she found was striking. Dogs don't just use their owners as a safe base in the presence of threats. They actively seek their owner's emotional response as information about how to interpret the world around them. An owner who meets the check-in with calm, positive engagement produces a dog who's more willing to explore, more resilient in the face of uncertainty, and faster to recover from stress. An owner who doesn't respond at all produces measurably higher anxiety over time, not from a single ignored glance, but from a pattern of them, accumulated across hundreds of walks. Every time you meet your dog's glance, even briefly, even with just a soft look and a moment of eye contact, you're answering a question they've been asking you since the day they came to live with you. Is everything all right? It costs you nothing to answer your dog's question, but to them it's absolutely everything. Your dog has been talking to you since the moment you first met. They told you with a raised inner brow that they wanted to be close. They told you with the weight of their body against yours that you're where they feel safe. They warned you with every tool available to them when something was simply too much. And they look back at you on every walk, asking the only question that's ever really mattered to them. They never stopped talking, not once, not for a single day. The language was always there, it was always honest, and it was always about you. The only thing that was ever missing was someone who knew how to listen. Now you do. Go listen to your dog. This is Jan from Dog Decoded. If you want to develop a deeper understanding of your dog, please subscribe for more content. Bye-bye.